bass freakazoids. I'm Sean Hammond with PremierGuitar.com. We're at Musikmesse 2012 with Mike and Holger from Sandberg Basses. How's it going, guys?
Awesome. How you doing today?
Great. It's a brand new day, the first day of the show. You're actually our first video, so you guys have a new bass you're stoked about. Brings your line to a new price point, right?
Yes,
Mike, you want to tell us about it?
This is our new Electra VS4 string bass. This is Sandberg's first move into doing offshore production, but where we're differentiating ourselves from other manufacturers is we're just having our wood handled offshore, and then the final assembly and finish work is all done with our friends in Braunschweig, Germany at Sandberg. So this bass comes in at $899 US MAP, which is a whole new price point. This is our first time getting under $1,000 for anything we've made. And it still features the Sandberg design bridge, the Sandberg design string tree, still has 6-bolt construction like all of our German basses do.
Let's take a look at that for people who aren't familiar with the 6-bolt construction back there. And so obviously it's an active design.
Now it's set up with volume, treble, and bass. And true to form for all Sandberg instruments, our preamp is defeatable right here. This also, even though it's our offshore bass, has our brand new knobs that we've made with these great little etches in them, these cuts that make it easier to see what you're doing instead of just a dot or anything like that, or just nothing, you know. And it also increases the quality, the appearance of quality. You know, we take the time to do this.
Okay, so back on the volume knob, you pull it up to be passive, right? Yep. Now, some people, or people who are familiar with Sandberg stuff, will be like, hey, it doesn't have the 4 little dots, that's your trademark thing. Is that to differentiate German-built, the stuff that's German-built through and through?
For that delineation between the two different production methods. And also, I mean, that little bit of handiwork saves a couple of dollars, which is how we're making this price point happen, is by being efficient. You know, Sandberg has done a great job of making their German instruments, which are premium instruments, at prices that nobody can touch. And that's what this is now, to make it even more affordable for younger musicians or beginning musicians to get a Sandberg. And this bass is great. And then once you've had this for a while, if you progress, you know that you can step up to one of our other instruments, and it's not a big jump either, you know.
Okay, so tell us about the woods, and then we'll hear it a little bit more, and then you can show us some of the other basses you brought.
The body is made from basswood, and the neck is Canadian hard rock maple with an Indian rosewood fingerboard. So a very traditional component. And the character of the bass is, let me say, it's punchy, a lot of attack, and a long sustain, which comes from the 6-bolt and a big neck pocket, a big area. And we have, especially on this position, where the point where the neck goes in the headstock is very reinforced.
Sorry?
It's reinforced, stable, which offers a very good sustain. So you have a very punchy attack and a long sustain and deep tone.
Cool, let's hear a little bit more.
Very much dynamic, you know.
What do we have here in yellow?
So this is a brand new model, which is called the California TSBS, which means the band Beatsteaks. The bass player of the Beatsteaks was involved in the developing of this special bass. So he has his own needs, neck size, and string through body, and he loves the Simon Duncan pickups. And so we made a model specially for him with this special color, and it's exactly the color of his shoes. Post office yellow with block and lace, white pearl block and lace, and also white pearl pickguard. And this bass is passive with a traditional 2-volume and tone control. So no battery, no active, and yeah, this is.
Cool, let's hear it. Nice. Now, was that both pickups full on?
Both pickups.
And do you have a pan control here?
We have 2 volumes. When we play only the neck pickup, it offers a very strong. Now the bridge pickup.
Got a little Jocko. Nice. All right, Mike, so what have you got here?
This is our new Marlowe DK bass. A lot of people have been asking us about this bass for a few months now. You guys probably know Marlowe. He puts out a lot of great instructional videos on the web, and he's a nasty player. And this is based on Sandberg's development with him. They had done a couple of custom instruments with him, and then you guys decided about last year that it was time to do a Marlowe signature, and that's what we have here. This bass is also passive, more of a 70s placement on the pickups than on other Sandbergs. Also,
Which means that the bridge pickup is further toward the bridge?
closer, yeah, a little sharper sounding that way. And we're set up volume, balance, tone, all passive. This is a custom graphic that Marlowe had to have, and it looks pretty cool where it is. Block inlays, and it's the hardcore aging. You can see front and back. And then the traditional Sandberg 6 bolts and a 0 fret.
Looks like he's sanded the neck here.
Yeah, just for playability. It's got that satiny feel because there's less lacquer on it. So you can just, when you're sweating and stuff, your hands don't get gooped up and stuck on the neck. And this is what Marlowe's playing now. Like our hardcore masterpieces, what we do is we put this on a jig, on a table, and we pump bass frequencies through it for at least 100 hours. What that does is it helps play it in.
How do you feel like that makes a difference? What sort of things would you notice if you were to play that as opposed to one that didn't go through that?
I'm glad you asked that, because a year ago I couldn't tell you. Now I can. I've been playing the Sandbergs for a year and working with them. And what I find with our aged bass is that they tend to have a little more volume, a little bit more of that burpiness in the mid-range, and just overall more heft to every note, if that makes sense. And when I started with them, I would have told you that it's voodoo. A year later, after playing these basses a few hundred nights, I get it. It really does make a difference, the vibration table and the aging and everything else. It just gives you a little more tone, a little more volume.
That's cool. Now, Holger, can you tell us about this? Now, so this was worn just from resting thumb there, but he, I guess, now he likes that and he uses it as an anchor point.
I think we made it in the same way like a 30 years old bass, and it was 30 years working with his nail on this part.
And thanks for showing us the new stuff, Holger. Mike, where can people go online to find more about it?
www.sandberg-guitars.de. For U.S. distribution, you can reach out to www.diffusion-audio.com, or you can email me at mike@diffusion-audio.com for U.S. sales, or go to the Sandberg website and reach out to us there.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
For seeing us again, guys.
Have a great
It's
show.
pleasure.
I'm Sean Hammond. Thanks for watching PremierGuitar.com.